Why good parents raise distant children. You were not a bad parent. That is what makes this hurt so much. You worked, you protected, you gave advice, you paid for things. You stayed strong when no one asked if you were tired. And still, your child became distant, not gone, not cruel, just far enough to make every conversation feel careful. They answer your messages, but they do not open up. They say, "I'm fine," but you can feel the wall. And the question quietly eats at you. After everything I did, why did they pull away? Most parents think distance means one of two things. Either the child is ungrateful, or the parent failed. But sometimes children pull away not because their parents did not love them, but because love came with pressure. Protection came with control. Advice came with judgment. Sacrifice came with expectation. And silence became safer than honesty. That does not make you evil, and it does not make your child heartless. But it may mean the relationship was built more on duty than emotional safety. Sometimes the child who pulls away is not trying to punish you. They are trying to breathe. Love that felt like pressure. A parent says, "I only want what is best for you." But the child hears, "My own choice is not enough." A parent says, "I am trying to protect you." But the child hears, "You do not trust me." A parent says, "After everything I did for you." But the child hears, "Your love has a price." Most parents are not trying to control their children. They are afraid. They have seen failure, divorce, debt, loneliness, and bad choices that ruin lives. So they warn, they push, they correct, they step in, they call it guidance. But the child may feel it as control. And this is where distance begins. A child does not only need protection from pain, a child also needs space to become a person. If every mistake becomes a lecture, they stop sharing mistakes. If every dream becomes a warning, they stop sharing dreams. If every problem becomes advice, they stop sharing problems. Not because they stopped loving you, because being close started to feel like being corrected. And no adult wants to return to a place where they always feel smaller. You remember sacrifice. They remember atmosphere. Many parents remember what they gave. The child remembers how it felt. A father may remember working late to pay the bills. The child may remember eating dinner without him. A parent may remember saying, "Be strong." The child may remember feeling alone with sadness. Both memories can be true. Food matters. A roof matters. School matters. Protection matters. But children remember more than what was done for them. And slowly they learn a quiet rule. Do not bring your full self here. So they bring a smaller version. A polite version. A safe version. They call, they smile, they keep it light. But the real conversation happens somewhere else. The parent asks, "I gave them everything. Why do they not come to me?" And the answer may be painful. Because giving everything is not the same as being safe to tell everything. The child who left may have learned to hide. Some adult children are not distant because they are cold. They are distant because they learned to hide. Maybe anger was punished. Maybe sadness was dismissed. Maybe fear was mocked. Maybe independence was treated like betrayal. Maybe every honest conversation became a fight about who was right. So the child learned, say less, need less. Do not tell them what hurts. At first, this can look like respect. The child becomes quiet, easy, strong. But inside, something is closing. Years later, the parent is shocked by the distance. But for the child, the distance did not begin yesterday. It began in small moments. A cold look, a door slammed, a confession used against them later. A time they said, "You hurt me," and the answer was, "After everything I have done for you?" That sentence can end a lot of honesty. Because now the child learns that pain is allowed only if the parent agrees with it. So they stop explaining, not because distance is easy, but because distance is calmer. Why they still answer, but do not come close. The child does not fully leave. They still answer the phone. They send birthday messages. They visit on holidays. But they do not let you in. This half-connection hurts because it gives hope, but it also shows the wall. The parent thinks, if they care, why are they so distant? The answer is often simple. They want connection, but not the old version of connection. They do not want to be fixed every time they speak, judged every time they choose differently, reminded of what they owe, pulled back into the role of a child who must explain, obey, and stay grateful. They may love you, but they remember what closeness used to cost. So they keep the relationship controlled. Short calls, safe topics, careful answers. Work is fine. Health is fine. Everything is fine. But nothing deep enters the room. And when the parent senses this, many make one mistake. They chase. They push for answers. They say, "Why are you doing this to me?" They say, "You will regret this when I am gone." But guilt does not create closeness. It creates defense. The parent wants love, but the child hears obligation. And obligation can make a person visit, but it rarely makes them open their heart. What can bring them closer? Your child may not need another explanation of what you did for them. They may need one moment where you do not defend yourself. Not because you were wrong about everything, not because they were right about everything, but because healing cannot start while both people are fighting to prove their version. A different conversation sounds like this. Was there a time when you felt I did not understand you? Not, why are you treating me this way? Or, I know I provided for you, but maybe I did not always know how to listen. Not, after everything I sacrificed. This is not weakness. It is strength without armor. It means being brave enough to admit one thing. Your child may have experienced your love differently than you intended it. That sentence can change the room. Not instantly, not perfectly, but it can make honesty a little less dangerous. Sometimes distant children do not need a perfect parent. They need a parent who can finally ask, "What did it feel like to be my child?" And then stay quiet long enough to hear the answer. The painful truth. Good parents can raise distant children, not because they did not love enough, but because love alone is not emotional safety. A child can be fed, protected, educated, and still feel unseen. A parent can sacrifice everything and still not know the inner world of the person they raised. The parent says, "I gave you everything." The child thinks, "But I could not give you the truth." And somewhere between those two sentences, the relationship became quiet. But quiet does not always mean dead. Sometimes it means there is still something underneath, something waiting for less pressure, less guilt, less defending, more listening, more room to breathe. The goal is not to go back to how things were. Maybe how things were is exactly why they left. The goal is to build something new, adult to adult, not parent over child, not child running from parent. Two people finally learning how to speak without fear. If this video made you think of your own family, ask one honest question. Was there love, but not enough room for truth? Because sometimes distance is not created by hate. It is created by years of things nobody knew how to say. This is the if verse, where silence becomes easier to understand. Subscribe. There's so much more to explore. Thank you for watching.